Welcome to the final part of the 5-element breathwork mini series. And for this final practice, we're working with the element of ether. I might just add here that once you've completed all 5 parts of this instructional video sequence, remembering that the purpose here is to learn the practice, receive the teachings, receive that wisdom, and embody that wisdom, feel it and connect with it in your own body. And once you feel that you've, received these teachings, that you understand them, you're ready to move on to the audio download and practice this as a daily practice. Now, the daily practice it's going to be a sort of 20-minute tops practice. And I've done this so that it's something that you can achieve daily. When we practice this breath work, I want you to think of breath work as like inner size. So it's exercising the body from the inside. Okay, so it's a really amazing practice to add to our lives to bring about mindful, conscious transformation that we have with intention. So, and as I mentioned at the start of this video series, we've been working with the liberating current, working from the ground up. But when you do the audio download, the daily practice, it's working with the manifesting current. So you start to think of the funnel, and you most definitely start with an intention for your practice each day, and you'll bring it down. And you'll leave the practice feeling very, very grounded and centered. So it's a beautiful practice to add. Let's move on. Now, we'll need a little bit of time for this because with the ether practice, you use both the nose and the mouth. So the element of ether, it's sometimes used interchangeably with space. In some, sort of theories, they sort of say that, well, technically they're two different things. But for the purposes of this, I want you to just think of the element of ether as where the universe lies, where the unified field lies, and where all unlimited possibility lies. It is relates to thought. So it very strongly correlates with the crown chakra, the third eye, and the throat, because those top 3 energy centers are to do with like the consciousness drawing into our body. And the crown in particular is actually an energy center that's just above our head. Our brain literally has all of these like hundreds of thousands of nerve, like a mass sort of explosion of nerve plexus that opens up like a crown. And science is actually revealing how we can now measure the waves, the brain waves from just outside of the brain. And this is proof that our brain is literally like a beacon calling in all of this. So I want you to think of this when we work with the element of ether and apply it to a breathwork practice. So as such, I've chosen the Tumi breath practice, which is what the Wim Hof method, because in my experience of practicing this practice myself, once you do the practice, well, number one, you use, so from the Ayurvedic philosophy, ether, the element of ether, utilizes both the nasal breath and the mouth breath. So when you do this practice, you be conscious to take the breath through the nose and the mouth simultaneously. But secondly, when I do 3 rounds of it and sit with the spaciousness, I really tune into the element of ether after the practice. It's amazing. And it might take a little bit of practice for you to feel it, but not long. If you did it every day for a week, I reckon you would get it. If you haven't, that's presuming you've never done it before. So this practice is to be done lying down on your back with your knees bent. It's very, very important for you to have a really relaxed state. You might even like to have a little prop underneath your head So have knees bent. Some of you might like to have your head propped up a bit with a folded blanket. And, you know, just make sure you just do a few little wiggles through your body. Make sure you feel nice and relaxed, shoulders relaxed, spine softening. You might need to consciously tuck under a little bit. Elbows supported by the ground, let them hands rest on the belly. Okay. When you do the practice, you need to feel, sorry, I was trying to think what I wanted to say. We can get quite cold doing this particular practice. So have a blanket and pop it over you, even if you don't really feel too cold now, or at least have it next to you. By the time you get to the second or third round, you might want to pop it on you, at least on your trunk. So lying yourself down on your back. I'll do the first one lying down with you and feeling nice and comfortable. So it's very, very similar to the 2-part breath that we did for the element of air. However, we're not going to do that inhale breath in 2 parts. It's just going to be one continuous breath. So inhale through the belly, but both the nose and the mouth. So I actually prefer to do this. There's 2 ways you can do it. You can do it like the Wim Hof way, which is a bit like through a wide straw. So it's or the like other conscious connected breathwork practices, kind of think of a smile. So it's a wider mouth. It's like a. So you just choose what feels good for you. So the hands on the belly, and I want you to think of the belly and the chest, but don't separate it like we did in 2 parts. So let's start with a little softening into the belly, a little exhale breath, and then a breath in and exhale. Breath in, all the way up into the chest, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Try and relax the body, knowing that you can control the amount of breath that you take in. Keep moving with the breath, keeping the rhythm. If it starts to feel a little much, just release, just do slightly more gentle breaths. You might feel you're getting a little lightheaded. Just know that that is normal. And just do what feels right for you. If you need to sort of back off a little, that's fine. But you might also feel that you can just push on through it. Still a couple more breaths. You might feel a little bit of blood pumping through the body. Taking one more nice big full breath. Exhaling. Then take a nice big breath in. And then hold that breath in high up into the lungs and see if you can squeeze the belly. You might be able to squeeze the pelvic floor. up to 10 counts here, holding the breath. If you need to release it before, that's fine. And release the breath. And find a point where you get to a comfortable stillness. And again, we're going to just hold the breath here, hold the exhale for up to a minute. And this is the point where we can really start to explore the stillness. And it will get easier in the next 2 rounds. We might feel a little bit of apprehension in the first round. And if you're someone that does have contraindications, remember you might like to refrain from these practices. You may need to seek medical advice first. Just be really tuned in to your own limits. And as we explore stillness here at the end of each of these practices, when we pause at the end of an exhale, the nervous system really starts to soften and settle. So at this point now, we might need to start taking a breath in if you haven't already. Just take a few breaths here before we move on to the second round. I'm going to do these next 2 sitting up, but I'd like you to do them lying down on your back. As you gain more and more experience with these practices, you can move into doing it seated. All right, so let's invite a little bit of more awareness just before we move into the second round. I want you to just have a little check-in. What feels good and what feels comfortable for you? Was there anything that felt uncomfortable? And give yourself the time and the space and the trust that as you explore these practices, your body will open up. The change and the transformation will happen. Your body will be more receptive to the practice. Don't allow the ego to force or push. Just do what you can on any given day. Each round, you can do anywhere, Wim Hof suggests between 20 and 30, but on some days I might only do 10 breaths. So again, your intuition and your body will guide you when you get more and more practice with this. Today, we're going to do 20 counts, 20 breaths. So let's begin by taking a little exhale breath into the belly, and then a nice big breath in. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Try and keep the rhythm, but modify the volume of breath. To 10 breaths now. Maybe even just pushing that edge a little further if you can. Four more breaths. Last breath. Taking a big conscious breath in, high up into the lungs, squeezing the belly, squeezing the pelvic floor if you can, holding it there, 5 to 10 counts. So lungs are full of air. You might even try and soften the shoulders. And then activating, squeezing those lower 3 energy centers so that all the breath is held up high in the body. This helps to pump the cerebrospinal fluid up through around the pineal gland. And then when you're ready, release the breath. Make sure you do it before if that's too much. Soften the breath here. Don't contract, just soften gently until you find the place of stillness and comfort. Sitting at the end of your exhale breath. This is where we can drop into the element of ether. Explore this with curiosity, with possibility. Be the seer. In this moment, the nervous system is grounding, is settling. There's a natural pause, keyword being natural. When we take all of those dynamic breath cycles, we're just prepping the body to take this natural, comfortable pause. When you feel, tune into that natural urge to take in the next breath, and just do so when you're ready. You might feel the nervous system twitching. You might feel parts of your muscles or ligaments releasing and softening to the earth. If you haven't taken a breath, take one now. Some just gentle breaths. This is an inward exploration. Good. And then just preparing for our final round, 20 breaths. Little exhale into the belly. Taking a breath in. Relax the shoulders. Relax all the limbs. Halfway there. Explore the fullness of your breath. Explore the emptiness. You might feel a little bit of trembling in your limbs. This is normal. If you get out of sync with me, don't worry. 3 more breaths. Might even feel pins and needles. That's normal. 1 more big deep breath. And exhale. Big breath in to hold. Feel it in the lungs, nice and full. If you can, squeeze the belly, Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor. Hold. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Soften right through the body. Notice the sensations, finding your comfortable place at the natural, easeful bottom of your exhale. Allow everything to relax. I'll just offer a space of silence here for you to explore. allowing the breath to return when you feel that natural urge coming back in again, listening to the body's instincts. Take a moment just to, when we return to the breath, this gentle breath, tuning in and just noticing what state have you created in your body right now, in your physical body, your energy, pranic body, in your mental body. Do you feel stillness? Do you feel a sense of bliss? Feel a sense of thanks in your heart for all that is possible, what we can achieve. Feel that sense of thanks in your heart for the wisdom in the universe and in our bodies. You're welcome to stay in whatever position you're in, and just energetically bring your hands to your forehead. May we have clarity in our perception. And then bringing your attention to your throat. May we have truth, authentic, truthful expression, which feels natural and uplifting. And then bring your awareness to your heart center. And from this place, may we feel love, joy, compassion, connection. Namaste.